All right, so today I want to talk about followers on social media and how that correlates with actually making money. And basically, the punchline is that there's almost no correlation with the amount of followers you have and the amount of money you make from them. It's all about the audience you have and the content you make. So, there's two stories I want to use to illustrate this point, one of which is on one side of the spectrum where someone has a lot of followers and makes no money, and the other one is on the other side of the spectrum where someone has very few followers and makes a lot of money. So there was this one time I was in New York and I met with this fitness influencer who was like this big YouTuber. He had like millions of followers and he was making like almost no money. So that was like the first time that really opened my eyes, and I was like, oh wow, like you really realize like just because you have a lot of followers, it does not mean that you're making a lot of money. Like you really have to monetize correctly, and you have to have an audience that actually wants to pay you money, right? So that was just something that opened my eyes to this concept and really made it like real to me that like it could be possible to have all those followers and not make money. And then there was this video that I was watching last week by Alex Hormozy, and he was talking about this girl who has an Instagram where she has about 5,000 followers, and she makes like $1 million a year off her audience. So that was like an example of the complete opposite situation where essentially the reason why she was making so much money is because her audience was very, very specific, and there were people that wanted to actually buy the service that she was selling, and it was a good fit with a good service that actually was super profitable. So what she was doing with her Instagram, it's actually one of Alex Hormozy's videos that he recently came out with. So you could probably see it in his channel, but essentially I'll just break it down for you. She has an Instagram that is totally dedicated towards helping like dietitians. Yeah, I think it was actually female dietitians, so it's like that specific, but female dietitians build insurance. So like it was so specific, and that's literally the only thing she talked about. So essentially, like everyone in her audience filled that specific niche. Like there's no one in her audience that's there to like learn about fitness tips. There's no one that's there to learn about life tips, making money tips. It's literally just this one thing, building insurance for a female dietitian. And so she essentially consulted on them and sold them products that were related to this one topic and did a great job at it. So you don't have to have millions of followers to make a lot of money on social media. You just need to make sure that your product really resonates with your audience. And not only that, but mostly your content needs to resonate with your audience, right? So speaking of Alex Hormozy, I actually saw another piece of content that he came out with recently where he talked about how he did this experiment over like the past, I think, 6 months where he was releasing a lot of new content, and it was more like general content that wasn't necessarily all business, and it was getting actually pretty popular. Like he was getting a lot of views on it, and he was getting a lot of new subscribers. But after he did that experiment and he got all those new subscribers, he realized like these new people that I'm getting to the channel, they're actually not like very tailored to my like target audience. Like he was getting people that wanted to kind of just be entertained, and they didn't really care about the business stuff as much into his audience, and then those people were actually not good customers for his business. So what he said was that even though he had gained all those new subscribers over that 6 months when he did the experiment, his videos were actually making the business less money. And so I think it's just a really good lesson to think about all these things, and like I think the action item for it is don't worry so much about the number of subscribers that you're getting or the amount of people that you're getting to view the video, but really just think about the content you're making, and is it specific to what you're selling and what you're monetizing? Is it attracting the right person? I think that's really the most important thing, because as we've seen from these stories, like it doesn't matter if you have a ton of people. It really just matters, are you reaching the right person, and are you hitting them with something that is a relevant offer towards them? So yeah, that's all I have for today, but I thought it was just a good lesson to think about if you're making content or if you have a following on any social media. So that's it.